The goal is to grow as much tomatoes as you can in volume, and one of the ways to do that is just to buy these buckets. You can get them at Home Depot or any place else. You may even have some laying around, but you get those. You get two different varieties of potting soil with it, and you just go half and half on that, and you fill up the buckets and you put in your starter. Now these buckets are unique too because they've got holes on the bottom to allow them to drain out, because you don't want the roots to get blight or anything like that by being too wet and getting moldy inside the buckets and the soil. So you want it to drain. So you just drill 5 holes through the bottom of the buckets, get your starters going, and then they just will flourish on their own because you've got the good potting soil. When they get to be a little bit bigger than this, what you'd have to do then is you'd have to have some kind of cage, tomato cages. I'm going this route, where I bought bamboo stakes and some soft wire tie. I'm going to make my own cages, which should be a little bit less than buying those big metal cages that you get either online or in stores. There are other ways to do it, and there are cheaper ways to do it as well. If you already have, like baling wire, and you do have enough of it, you can fabricate your own cages to be able to prop up these big tomato plants when they get to the point where they're giving out fruit. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to probably get these things rolling with these cages that I'm going to make, and then as the summer continues along, I'll be able to find out how much I can get out of this in comparison to the cost it takes to set this up. Water's free, sun's free, the rest is really not. But overall, I think that you'll find out that in most cases, if you do it this way, you're going to actually break even or lose money versus buying tomatoes at a farmer's market. But there's always some value in getting things done yourself. There's always a learning curve, and growing your own food, even if it is just tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers and things like that, has a value. So with very little effort and very short money, you can easily grow tomatoes galore in your backyard and produce some results. Every day this summer I've been eating handfuls of tomatoes that I grew. There's one on the ground right there that's ready to eat. These will get plumper here. These are these big beef stick tomatoes. These here are interesting. These are heirloom, and they're black and purple. On the insides are actually green, and that is significant really, because you know how much heirloom tomatoes sell for in stores, and so if you can grow a bunch of those and eat those all summer, you're saving money, you're being a little bit self-sufficient in terms of food, and you can multiply this out to being much bigger than it is. A lot of guys have like half-acre yards or property with half-acre or more, and they're using raised beds, and they're able to produce a lot of food and do it quite efficiently and with a lot less time than what you would actually think that it would take. So the time invested, the money invested is not a whole lot, and some of these guys have so much food that they don't know what to do with. They're selling to farmers markets, restaurants, and so on. So it's easy, get some bamboo twigs, get some baling wire, make little cages out of them, plant them, grow them. Just make sure they get good water. They're going to get good sun in the summer. Every, I guess, twice a month I go with the crushed eggshells on there, because these tomato plants, they need calcium, and so what you do is you crush up your old eggshells, put it down by the roots, and then that'll get the calcium in there. And then twice a month also I do the all-purpose plant food, which is just a generic plant food, and it helps a little bit. and put that in there twice a month as well, and that's it. Some people use like vinegar and they pour other stuff in there, but like even I've seen even like Epsom salts and stuff like that, but you don't really need them. I haven't needed them yet. I'm getting good results out of here. As far as like the buds are concerned, you just want to make sure that they touch the other buds on the vine, because that's how it'll actually grow new tomatoes, by the pollination. But usually the bees do the job, or like with the wind or rain, it moves the vines enough so that they're gonna, cross fertilize and produce good results. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Reuse these buckets next year. Just put in more soil. You've got the seeds left over from the production of the year before, and you're good to go. You're going to be eating heirloom quality tomatoes all summer long. You're going to learn something, and you're going to know that it's organic and it doesn't have any pesticides or GMO origins. So definitely worthwhile to do this. Doesn't take much time, like I said. It takes very little to no money, and anyone in virtually any part of the country can do this.